I need to tell you something, and I need you to put down whatever you are doing and really hear me. That thing you are chasing, the money, the promotion, the house with the double-height ceiling, the body with the six-pack, the respect of strangers on the internet, whatever it is that you think is going to finally make your life work, it is not going to give you what you think it will. I am William. I am 77 years old, and I spent 50 years of my life running after things that were never, ever going to fill the hole I was trying to fill. 50 years, half a century. That is a long time to be running in the wrong direction. So, sit with me for a few minutes, because what took me decades of stress, heart palpitations, and missed birthdays to figure out, I am going to try to give to you right now. And maybe, just maybe, you won't have to waste as much time as I did. We all do this thing. We all say, I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I pay off the mortgage. I'll be happy when I lose 20 pounds. I'll be happy when people finally respect me. I said that my whole life. My whole damn life. It was my mantra. It was the engine that got me out of bed in the morning. And you know what? I got the promotion. I paid off the house. I lost the weight and found it again. I retired with a plaque on the wall. People respect me, I think. I don't know. At 77, you stop keeping track of who is clapping. But here is what nobody tells you. When you get the thing, there is always another thing. Always. The finish line moves. You think you are almost there, sweating and straining. And then you look up and the tape has been moved another 10 miles down the road. I spent 50 years running toward a finish line that didn't exist. The origin of the chase. Let me tell you something about myself that I am not proud of. I grew up poor. Not starving in the street poor, but wearing your cousin's old shoes poor. My father worked at a factory his whole life. He came home tired every night, smelling of grease and metal. His hands were always beat up, cuts that never healed, nails permanently black. And I watched people, shopkeepers, bankers, even our own neighbors, look at him like he was nothing, like he didn't matter because his color was blue. I was maybe 10 or 11 years old when I made a vow to myself. I remember standing in our kitchen, looking at my father slump over his dinner and thinking, that is not going to be me. I am going to be somebody. I am going to make people respect me. I am going to be so rich and so important that nobody will ever look at me like that. So that is what I did. I built a life out of fear and pride. I worked. Lord, I worked. 60, 70 hours a week sometimes. I missed my kids growing up. I missed dinners. I missed baseball games. I missed the school plays. I missed the quiet Sunday mornings because I was too busy answering emails or prepping for Monday. But I told myself it was worth it. I was building something. I was becoming somebody. By 52, I was a vice president. Corner office. Mahogany desk. A view of the city skyline. People called me sir. My name was on the door in gold letters. And you know what I felt the day I moved into that office? Nothing. I mean, not nothing. I felt tired. I felt anxious about keeping the job. But I didn't feel the relief I expected. I didn't feel the joy. I felt empty. I remember sitting in that expensive leather chair, door closed, looking out the window at the city below, thinking, this is it? This is what I gave up everything for? This is the prize? It felt like I had climbed all the way up a mountain, scraping my knees and freezing my fingers, only to get to the top and realize I was just on another mountain. And there was another peak higher up, obscured by clouds. It took me another 20 years to understand what happened in that office. 20 years. I am a slow learner, I guess. The feeling versus the thing. Here is what I finally figured out. I wasn't chasing money. I wasn't chasing titles. I wasn't even chasing respect. Not really. I was chasing a feeling. I wanted to feel like I was enough. Like I mattered. Like I was worthy of occupying space on this planet. That is what I was really after. And I thought if I just achieved enough, if I just climbed high enough, if I just accumulated enough zeros in my bank account, I would finally feel it. But you can't get that feeling from a job title. You can't get it from a paycheck. You can't get it from a stranger calling you sir. That feeling, the feeling of being enough, is an inside job. I could have given that to myself the whole time. I didn't need anyone's permission. I didn't need a board of directors to vote on my worthiness. I just needed to decide. Decide that I was worthy, that I mattered, that I was enough exactly as I was. Grease under my fingernails or not. I could have done that at 25. I did it at 73. That is 48 years I wasted trying to earn something that was already mine. The marriage mistake. The same thing happened with my marriage. Different story, same mistake. I thought if I provided enough, if I gave my wife the big house in the suburbs, the nice cars, the vacations to Europe, she would be happy. We would be happy. That was my job, right? Provider, hunter, gatherer. So I provided. I provided the hell out of that marriage. But you know what my wife actually wanted? She didn't want the trip to Paris. She wanted me. She wanted me present. She wanted me listening. She wanted me there in the room, not just physically, but mentally. And I wasn't. Even when I was home, I was gone. I was thinking about the next deal, the next crisis, the next rung on the ladder. I was physically at the dinner table, but my mind was 3 time zones away. We almost split up when I was about 48, and it wasn't because I wasn't successful. It wasn't because I cheated. It was because I was a ghost in my own house. She told me once, I remember this clear as a bell, standing in our kitchen with the granite countertops I had paid for. She said, "William, I don't need the money. I need you to look at me. I need you to hear me. I feel alone when you were sitting right next to me." And I didn't understand. I got defensive. I yelled, "I am doing this for us. Do you know how hard I work?" I thought I was being a hero. I was actually being an absentee landlord to my own life. It took me a long time to understand the difference between providing for someone and being present with someone. They are not the same thing, not even close. You can pay all the bills and still bankrupt your relationship. The comparison trap at 84. I'm 77 now. Most of my friends are around my age. Some older, some younger. A few of them are gone already. Heart attacks, cancer, strokes. The usual exits. And I have noticed something interesting about the ones still here. The ones who are miserable, they are still chasing, still comparing, still keeping score. I have a friend, let's call him Bob. He is 84 years old, 84, and he is still mad, genuinely blood pressure raising mad, that his neighbor got a newer Mercedes than him. Think about that. He has maybe 2-3 years left on this earth, if he is lucky. And he is spending those precious final grains of sand in the hourglass worrying about a car he barely drives. He is still looking over the fence, still measuring himself against other people. And he is miserable, absolutely miserable. His face is permanently set in a scowl. I got another friend, Martha. She is 79. All she talks about is what she doesn't have. Her knees hurt. Her kids don't call enough, probably because she complains the whole time. Her pension isn't big enough. The weather is too cold. The soup is too hot. Everything is a complaint. Everything is a problem to be solved. She has been unhappy as long as I have known her, and she is going to be unhappy until the day she dies because she is still waiting for something outside of her to change, so she can finally be okay. She is waiting for the world to apologize to her. But then I got other friends, and these people, I don't know what it is exactly, but they got something different, a lightness, a peace. They aren't trying to prove anything to anyone. They aren't keeping score. They are just here, present. Curious about things, enjoying what is in front of them. My friend Earl, he is 86. This man is the happiest person I know. He doesn't have much money. He lives in a little apartment. His health isn't great. He walks with a cane. But he wakes up every morning grateful. He is always learning something new. Last week he was reading about black holes. The week before that, he was trying to learn Spanish on an app. He told me once, sitting on a park bench feeding pigeons, "William, I spent 60 years trying to be somebody. Now I am just trying to be here, and it is so much better. That is the difference. It isn't money. It isn't health. It isn't even family, though that helps. It is whether you have made peace with yourself, whether you have stopped chasing and started being. Real freedom. You want to know what real freedom feels like? I will tell you. It isn't having a bunch of money. I got friends with millions who are trapped in their own heads, worried about losing it, worried about taxes, worried about people stealing from them. They are prisoners in gilded cages. Real freedom is when the things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. When someone says something nasty to you and instead of getting angry, you just think, "Wow, they must be having a bad day," and it rolls off you like water. When you are not walking around needing everyone to like you. When you realize that your peace of mind is more valuable than any amount of money or approval. When you don't need the flashy car to prove you are successful. When you can look in the mirror, see a wrinkled 77-year-old man looking back at you, and say, yeah, that's me, and I'm okay with that. Real freedom is not needing anything outside of you to be okay inside of you. And that, my friend, takes most people a lifetime to figure out. Some people never figure it out. They die still chasing, still waiting, still thinking happiness is around the next corner if they just run a little faster. The fear paradox. Here's the trap, and I want you to really understand this because it is subtle. You think once you get the thing, the money, the security, you will be satisfied, but you won't. There is always another thing. I paid off my house when I was 58. I remember writing that final check. I thought I would feel free. I thought I would finally relax. The wolf is away from the door, I thought. You know what happened? 2 weeks later, I started worrying about the next thing. Retirement savings, healthcare costs. What if the market crashes? What if the roof leaks? What if I get sued? The fear didn't go away when my circumstances changed. The fear just found something new to attach itself to. It is a parasite. It needs a host. And that is when I realized something important. The fear doesn't leave when your life gets better. The fear leaves when you change. When you decide you are not going to let it run your life anymore. When you decide that you are okay right now, today, regardless of what happens tomorrow, that is an inside job. No amount of money can do that for you. No achievement, no relationship. It is something you got to do yourself. In the quiet of your own mind. The destination is here. Everything I thought I wanted, the title, the money, the house, the respect. I didn't actually want those things. I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel like I mattered. I wanted to feel loved. And I was looking for those feelings in all the wrong places. I was trying to extract them from my job, from my bank account, from other people's opinions. I was trying to squeeze juice from a stone. But those feelings, safety, worthiness, love, I could have given them to myself any time. I didn't need to earn them. I just needed to accept them. Accept that I was already safe, already worthy, already loved. That sounds simple, I know it does. It sounds like something you read on a greeting card. But it took me 50 years to really understand it in my bones. And I am still working on it. Honestly, at 77, I am still practicing. Young people think happiness is at the finish line. I thought that too, but there is no finish line. You get one thing, there is another thing. You solve one problem, another one shows up. That is just life. That is the nature of the beast. So if you are waiting until everything is perfect to be happy, you are going to wait forever because it is never going to be perfect. Something is always going to be wrong. Something is always going to be missing. The journey is the destination. I heard someone say that once and I rolled my eyes. I thought it was hippie nonsense. Now I understand it. This is it. Right here, right now. This is your life. Not when you get the promotion. Not when you meet the right person. Not when you pay off the debt. Now, the coffee you are drinking. The chair you are sitting in. The breath in your lungs. If you can't find some peace on the way to where you are going, you are not going to find it when you get there either. I promise you that. I have been there. The arrival doesn't feel like you think it's going to feel. The final lesson. So, here is what I want you to take from all this rambling of an old man. Stop waiting. Stop telling yourself, I'll be happy when. That is a lie. That is a thief. I believed that lie for 50 years. And all it gave me was 50 years of postponed living. Whatever you think you need to be happy, you don't need it. What you need is to decide you are enough right now, today, with everything exactly as it is. With the messy house. With the job you don't love. With the body that isn't perfect. You are enough. You hear me? You are already enough. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to earn it. You just have to accept it. I am 77 years old. I have made a lot of mistakes. I have chased a lot of wrong things. I have wasted a lot of time worrying about things that never happened. But the one thing I know for sure is this. Everything you are looking for is already inside you. You just got to stop running long enough to notice. If this meant something to you, share it with somebody who is grinding themselves into dust, chasing something that is never going to make them whole. And tell me in the comments, what is your I'll be happy when? What are you waiting for? What would change if you just decided you were enough right now? Don't wait 50 years to find out. Subscribe if you want more of these conversations. I've got plenty of time now.